Hi, Assalamu alaikum. This is Ahmed Muhammad. I am the attorney here at CARE New York. That's the Council on American Islamic Relations. We wanted to do this community talk to kind of provide some information for all of our followers and our community members in New York about the travel-related bans that have been instituted by President Trump in relation to the coronavirus epidemic that is going through, our nation. First off, I want to welcome everybody that's listening. I want to say, I hope that everyone is practicing social distancing, remaining safe, and heeding the advice of the public health experts. Here at CARE New York, our staff has transitioned to working remote, so that way we can all remain safe. But our office remains operational. We are still continuing to serve the community, over the phone, on the internet, virtually, digitally. So if you have any issues, if you would like to report anything to our office, if you're seeking any type of assistance, legal, community advice, or just need someone to guide you in the right direction during this crisis, please don't hesitate to contact us. You can call us at our office line, 646-665-7599. You can email us if you have a legal complaint that you'd like to report. You can email us at legal@ny.care.com, or you can go to our website and file an incident report. And that website is, if you just Google CARE New York, you'll go straight to our website, or you can input it care-ny.org. Okay, so what I want to remind everybody is this little webinar here is not intended to be legal advice. It's for informational purposes only. So it's really important that whatever information you hear, you take it for informational purposes, and if you want, and don't act upon it as legal advice. If you need legal advice, contact our office or contact an attorney. Now, before we get started with the informational session, I want everybody to know that if you have any questions, please type them in the comments section. And I will do my best to read through that section before we end this live stream and try to answer your questions for you, okay? All right, so I hope everyone at home is practicing good habits and remaining safe and is doing well. I wanted to kind of get us started by talking about the travel bans that are currently in place. As we all know, for a good while now, we've had the Muslim ban that has prevented, families from coming into this country, from Americans from seeing their families, from Muslim majority countries. That's still in effect, even though we are going through this coronavirus crisis right now. More recently, the African ban was also instituted, and now we have a total of Muslim/African banned countries of 13 countries that are banned. Those nationals from those countries cannot enter the United States unless they go through the waiver process, which, as we all know, is a sham. Now, in addition to that, last week the president signed a presidential proclamation that limited the travel for non-Americans who are or have been in Europe, right, in 28 countries in the continent of Europe, China, and Iran for any time during the past 14 days. So let's break that down. That means that if you've been in Europe at any point during the last 14 days, the presidential proclamation will apply to you if you are a non-American. Now, the proclamation defines non-American as anyone except for U.S. citizens, green card holders, and close family relatives of U.S. citizens, okay? So if you're a U.S. citizen, if you're a green card holder, if you're a close family relative of a U.S. citizen, the coronavirus-related travel bans should not apply to you. That means you will be allowed to travel back into the country. Now, what that means, in addition to that, is when you travel back into the country, the U.S. government has created travel restrictions, right? As part of the U.S. government's attempt to limit the spread of the coronavirus, they are limited the number of airports that individuals from those countries can travel back into. What I recommend is that all of you go to the DHS government website. There is a travel advisory right now that's in place that lists the 13 major airports that individuals can fly back into. So it's really important that when you're trying to book your travel back into the country, that it's routed into one of the 13 approved major airports. For New Yorkers, the good thing for all of us to know is that JFK is one of the major international airports that is listed. So if you're traveling back to JFK, that's going to be permitted travel. Okay. Now, the other thing we all have to recognize is that when we come back into the country, the U.S. government has put in place, extra screening for individuals who are coming back from overseas, especially from these 28 countries, China and Iran. And so that means that you're going to be asked questions about your medical history, how you're feeling, and to make sure, where you have traveled during this last trip outside the country. You'll also be asked to self-quarantine for the next 14 days, okay? Now, one of the other things that I kind of want to discuss is the practical aspect of coming back into the country, right? It's really important. There was some news today that got leaked from the State Department indicating that the U.S. government is getting ready to, one, tell U.S. citizens and Americans not to leave the country, and two, if you are outside of the country, we expect the government will instruct all Americans to return from abroad immediately, or if you don't return from abroad back into the United States, we're expecting the U.S. government to instruct Americans who are abroad to shelter in place, which means that the U.S. government is likely not to accept any travelers, regardless of citizenship status, back into the country. Now, what that means, separate from that order, is that it's really imperative for anyone who wants to come back into the country to do so right now while that possibility remains an option. And the hardest thing that we're seeing right now is for individuals who are stuck abroad is the ability to actually find a commercial flight. So what the government has recommended, and what we hope everyone will do who's trying to come back into the country, is to contact your airlines that fly out of those airports wherever you're at. Speak with them, contact them, figure out what their flight schedules are, and attempt to return back into the United States that way. Now, if you're unable to find a commercial flight, what you can do, and we're here to help you, right? Our office is still open. We are still operational. We're still, at full capacity. We're just working remote, right? For the most part. So if you're unable to find a commercial flight, you're trying to get back into the country, please contact us, right? Go online, go to our website, file a complaint, let us know, that you're trying to come back into the country, but you can't find a flight, right? Call us, email us, right? 646-665-7599. Email us at legal@ny.care.com. What we want to do, right, is help you communicate with your congressional representatives, with your senators, with the State Department, and let them know that there are Americans abroad who are trying to come back into the United States but are unable to do so because commercial aviation is shut down, okay? And we will work with you. We will work with your senators, your congressmen. We'll work with the State Department. We'll try to do our best to get you up-to-date information on how you can come back into the country. And if there are ways that the U.S. government is securing the return of individuals back into the country, we want to make that happen for you, right? I know right now, President Trump was just on TV a couple of hours ago saying that the U.S. military, may help citizens abroad come back into the country, and that they are actually in talks right now with citizens who are stuck in Peru, right, about using the military to to find a way to bring those citizens back who are trying to come back into the country. We're not sure whether that is going to be a global response from the United States, but we will try every single step possible to get you back into the country, to be here with your loved ones, with your family, and to make sure that you have access, to the healthcare system that we have here in the United States. But we are asking everyone who wants to come back not to delay, right? This is a fast-changing environment where every day we are seeing new and more drastic steps being taken, and we don't want to delay the assistance that we can provide for you. So the best way to go about this is, number one, call us, email us, contact us, get in touch with us, get in touch with your congressional representatives, with your senators, and make sure that you're getting the up-to-date information. What I can tell you is that moving forward, these community talks, these webinars / webisodes, we're not sure what we're going to call them yet. They're going to happen more frequently, especially starting next week. So make sure to follow us. Make sure to send our link to your friends, and make sure that they like us, that they follow our page, they sign up for our email updates, because we're going to try to provide them with up-to-date information on what's going on what Care New York is doing to make sure that we're advocating on your behalf. And we're going to make sure to let our community know that Care New York is still here. We're always going to be here, and that whatever help that we can provide, we're here to provide it. But the most important step that people can take, right, it's step one. It's always true in most circumstances, is to let us know what is happening in your community, what it is that you need assistance with. And if there's a way for us to help, we will do it. All right? So let me do this one more time so that everybody knows what our contact information is, and that if you have family or relatives, if you have Americans abroad who are trying to come back into the United States and they need assistance, you know how to get in touch with us. All right? So if you need to call us, which, by the way, you can do right now, as you can see the background behind me. I'm actually here in the office, right? Our staff is not here, but I decided to come here because I wanted to make sure I had the perfect background to record this live stream, right? So if you need assistance and you want to call our office and you're worried no one's there, don't worry about that. I'm here right now live. It's 646-665-7599. Call and I'll answer, okay? If you want to email me, you can email me at legal, L-E-G-A-L, at ny.cair.com. That's legal at ny.cair.com. The easiest step to get in touch with us, though, is to actually go on our website, right? care-ny.org, and click on the incident report button. And you want to report an incident, you can fill out your information, what questions you have, what are you going through, and what assistance you're looking for. That goes straight to my mailbox, and I look at it like that, right? I'm always on it, making sure I'm responding to any constituents, any of our community members who are asking us for assistance, okay? So if you have any questions, go ahead and comment now. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and call this, our first Care New York community talk related to the coronavirus travel-related bans that President Trump has instituted. All right, so I don't see any questions. Hopefully, as more people watch this video, they'll ask their questions in the comment section, and we can come back later on and try to answer them, inshallah. So for everyone that's listening and everyone who will listen, inshallah, please spread this message. Please contact Care New York if you need assistance. Please continue to wash your hands. Please continue to practice social distancing. And please continue to, stay at home if you're feeling sick. Continue to stay home if you're not feeling sick and you have the ability to work remote, right? Try to, remain isolated as much as possible to avoid or to limit the spread of the coronavirus. It's really important to listen to our, healthcare professionals who are really recommending and pushing us to flatten the curve, so that, we can save lives down the road. Assalamu alaikum